This week, I've been talking with multiple people about setting goals personally and professionally for themselves and for their teams. And so often when they're creating goals, they use SMART goals, right? So they make them specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time-bound. But a lot of times we make goals not fully realizing all the other things we have going on in our life, right? Not only do we have multiple other projects at work, but then we've got the kids at home or we've got to cook dinner. We've got all these other things. And those goals that seem super realistic right before all of a sudden just get set to the side and given up on. And so this tool that I used learned back in my coach training a few years back it builds on this idea of a SMART goal and it adds AIM to it. And the way that AIM works is the A stands for absolute minimum. So let's imagine that I want to get back into running. And this has happened multiple times for me in my life when I've tried to come back from injuries. I'll come up with a goal of I want to get back to running 5 times a week. And there are periods in my life where that was totally realistic and that's what I did. There have also been times in my life where that's not as realistic as I think it is in the moment. So what the absolute minimum is asking yourself, what's the absolute minimum step I can make to feel like I'm progressing towards where I want to go? So that might be if I'm trying to get back into running, you know what? I just want to run 1 day a week. I just want to get out there and try and run for 20 minutes. Now, the I stands for ideal. And that tends to be the goal that we initially make to begin with, right? Where it's I'm going to run 5 days a week for 20 minutes minimum. The M is that middle of the road. So that might be, the middle of the road for me is getting out there 2 to 3 days a week for at least 20 minutes. And why I love adding the AIM to SMART goals is that all of a sudden, if I get out there and run 1 day, I'm not beating myself up saying, I didn't get to 5, I'm just going to give up. I can celebrate the fact that I took a step as opposed to where I was before doing nothing towards that long-term goal of getting healthier. So I suggest you try this out and see the impact that it has on your individual goals, on your team goals. So I'm curious as to your thoughts and let me know in the comments.